exciting? Look at that. It's snowing. It's like Christmas in Crow's Nest Pass. Isn't that just beautiful? Absolutely just the greatest. I've been waiting for this for the last 6 months. Ah! Yes! Oh, just magical, you guys. Don't slip. Oh, jeez. I think I might need a little brush for when I'm coming out of here. Oh, look at that. Like, wow, guys. When I got here, it was just raining, and last night there wasn't even a speck of snow anywhere. It was just a normal fall day. But I think it's safe to say winter is here. Which brings me to our topic for today's video. Now, as a lot of you know, I have a 2001 Northern Lite truck camper. In 2001 Northern Lite, some people say they made 4-season truck campers. I'd say they were right on the cusp of it, and they tried. But back then, I think what they were more focusing on was more so the person going out in the fall and maybe getting into like -2, -3 Celsius. And that's about all you could ask for out of one of these. But it doesn't take much to make one of these be able to withstand an actual Canadian winter. So, in today's video, I'm going to show you what I've done to make living in this for all of winter easier. Let's get started. Now, a little disclaimer, this does have dual pane windows and your basic like 4-season camper package, heated tanks, everything like that. Well, heated tanks, we'll get to that. What Northern Lite had for heated tanks in this was kind of hilarious, but I fixed it, don't you worry. So the first thing we're going to talk about is all of these cubbies on here. They have door seals from the factory. They work and everything, but I found after 25 years, they get a little old. So I did replace them all, and these are rubber. I've tried the foam and they don't actually work that well. So that's what I've done best, is just add rubber for these. And for the most part, I haven't got any water in them. My next thing I'm going to bring up is pipe insulation. So I added pipe insulation to here and along here. The rest of it, I'm not too concerned about. The heat gets to it enough, and these are just drain valves. So if it gets to like -40 or something like that, yeah, you'll probably not be able to drain your tanks, or you'll have to use a hairdryer on them. One of the two. You'll see I have something right there. We'll get to that in a minute. So another spot for heat loss is all along your door. Basically what I did was the exact same thing as the other door. I just added more seals to it. And so far it's been really good. I actually don't get dust inside the camper anymore. It stays really, really tight and sealed and wonderful. So you don't really notice any drafts coming from the door as much. Now your door is probably your least insulated part of your camper. So what I would recommend is just have a blanket handy and some hooks above. So when it gets to like -30 out or something, you can just throw a blanket over your door, and that'll drastically keep the drafts down inside and keep the heat in. As you can see, I have a nice butcher job of silicone on here. Hey, it ain't pretty, but it's sealed. Now this used to be the battery bay. So let's talk about this, and then we'll talk about the batteries. So what I did here is I sealed off the battery door. I don't actually use this door anymore unless like for really emergencies or anything like that. It is an insulated door, so I don't feel too bad about just sealing it off. Now I run with Lithium, so I don't actually use this door. I took the bucket out. There used to be like a plastic bucket that held your lead acid batteries in there. I took all that stuff out. It's gone. That's a big open cabinet right there. And now that holds 400 amp hours of lithium batteries. The reason I went with that is because there's just no better option for power. That's basically it. And with lithium batteries out here, your best bet is to put them inside and keep them warm that way. Heated batteries are great and everything, if you can fit them. Usually if you have a truck camper and you're looking at upgrading to lithium, you're going to end up taking that battery box out anyways, because you're going to end up needing the space to put your bigger battery bank of lithium batteries anyways. This is where my propane's stored. So you'll actually notice something when you stick your hand in here. It's actually warm. Why is it warm? Let me get to that. And this is actually kind of neat. I didn't realize this, and I don't think Northern Light realized this. So when Northern Light built this, either someone was really thinking or this was just a happy little accident. The furnace is on this side right here. Your bay for all of your propane is right here. What happens to propane when it starts to get colder? It doesn't work as well. So now when the furnace comes on, it actually radiates heat from its actual just being the furnace, right? So that radiating heat is actually coming over and heating this box here. Not a lot, but it heats it enough that when I check the Mopeka propane gauge, which is basically a little propane gauge you stick to the bottom of the tank, and then it just tells you how much is left in the tank. They actually work really good. I can't recommend them enough, but they also tell you the temperature of the tank. And ever since doing this, it'll be in the negatives outside, and those tanks will actually be up to like plus 5 degrees Celsius. So that's kind of awesome. When it gets really cold, I do not expect this furnace to actually keep up with heating that too. So what I do have is I'll put it up in the screen here because I can't get it out right now, but it's basically just a oil pan heater. So it uses 120 volt, and you just plug it in and you got heat to your tank. One of those will actually heat this entire bay enough. They take about 250 watts. They're not too bad. If you really wanted to, you could run it off your battery system if you had a big enough battery system. And while on the topic of propane and the furnace, let's talk about my ducts. Be sure to get all your ducks in a row. Oh, that's toasty warm in there. You also notice I have a diesel heater just sitting right here, kind of hanging out. I'm contemplating actually giving it a shot. I don't really want to now though, because everything's working really good. So I thought I'd just show you my ducts. So my ducts come out from over there. One goes all the way to the end there, and then it actually tees off right there, kind of where I'm pointing at right there, and it goes up into the bedroom area, while that one over there goes across. Oh, refocus. There we go. It goes across and into that cavity over into there. Now in that cavity is basically all my water lines, and then it opens up to where my tanks are up front. That is a 4-inch duct, and it pushes a lot of air out there. This one is on its own, and it is a 2-inch duct. It goes in through right there. I don't think you can see past here. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit past there, but I'll show you where it comes out. Right there. Whew, that's a lot of heat. And so what this one does is basically just heats this entire area in here. And this keeps it at about 20 degrees Celsius in negative temperatures. Now for the last one out here, thought I would show you, before I head inside and show you some more stuff, is you'll notice, zoom in, a little Camco vent cover up top. And you're probably wondering, Kevin, why did you go get a vent cover? And well, simple. They work great for like almost insulating your vents. I found that they're able to allow you to open it up and then air won't come back inside. So you open your cover, pops up a little bit, and then you're able to basically turn your fan on and let all the moisture out and everything without a lot of air escaping back inside. It's more concentrated to in behind you. And then the other thing too is if it's snowing outside like it is now, that vent cover comes in real handy because you're able to open it and you don't worry about water falling in and hitting your vent and short circuiting it and then having a 3rd-degree fire or something and an explosion, and wow, that's escalated quickly. By the way, if you're ever like looking for somewhere to winter camp and you can't really find anything, something I've really found kind of helps is looking for snowmobile staging areas. Not all of them will allow it, but quite a few are pretty cool with it, or they don't say anything. Obviously, don't stay for the entire year, but if you need a night or two, these are awesome. Like, look at this. This is gorgeous in here. Brr. It's never chilly out there. Oh. Oh. I'm glad it's warm in here. Otherwise, I might not be in here. So another thing that Northern Light kind of overlooked is the thermostat used to be right here. It's not anymore. You might be asking, Kevin, where'd you put the thermostat? And let me just point it out to you. It's here. I put it right here. Doesn't it look nice? Because it took a lot of effort. You can't exactly go through the side walls. You have to rerun new wires and everything for it and put it over here. Now you might be wondering, Kevin, why would you put the thermostat across the dinette? And I think my best reasoning for that is the fact that the furnace is right there. The thermostat used to be right here. So once the thermostat gets warm enough, the furnace shuts off. That area cools off a lot quicker. It cools off from that way over to here. So my biggest pet peeve was the bed would get colder. I can say that that problem has been solved now with the thermostat being over there. Now when the bed area gets cold, the thermostat will tick and Bob's your uncle, you got heat coming in at you again. Does it have your furnace run more often? Yeah. Do I care? Not really. When those temperatures are like that, the way I think of it is you're either going to be running the furnace a lot more or you're going to be cold in certain spots. So I'd rather just have the furnace run more and heat the area more evenly. So another big achievement of mine is this duct. I'm really proud of this. Northern Light does not put any furnace ducts up into the bed area. I was able to manage getting a 2-inch duct tee off of that 4-inch that I have down there and come up all the way from basically, so it comes from over right there where my finger is and goes all the way down underneath on top of the tank, comes up in this corner over into the battery bay. I can actually show you that. You can see there it is. It comes up, goes over into here, just across here. I only use this for like box storage and stuff, like stuff that I still have warranty on. So I'm not too concerned about losing the storage. If you really wanted to, you could move this and get more duct and just put it to the back. But I didn't really care. This works for me and I can still fit stuff in there. And then it comes out right here. It actually comes out pretty good. It's not too bad. It'll heat up the bed area a lot quicker than before. And it's kind of nice at night too. If you are feeling a little bit colder, you can go throw the blanket over this and then the heat will start coming out of there and then you got a heated blanket. So that's a good time. You're probably wondering, Kevin, what'd you pull out of your dirty sock drawer? And it's just some Reflectix. You know me, during the summer I like to tan and everything. So during the winter I got this to try to get as much sun rays as I can. I'm kidding, these are for my windows. So yeah, these go over my windows. They actually slide into them pretty easy, so long as I have the screens out. The 2 windows up there do not have the screens out. The 2 windows up here do. So I chose to do that because the front ones, you don't really notice too much anything coming from them. And I've actually, you'll notice I have these out of there right now. And that's because I don't know how good these actually are. These are dual pane windows and if I don't have them covered, I don't get condensation on them. If I have them covered, I get condensation on them. I don't know. A lot of people swear by these though. And I do like them still, because if I am parked somewhere that I'm not supposed to be, and I'm worried about someone seeing me in here or something, I can put these up. So I will be making them for the other 2 windows in the front here. And I'll probably just store the screens for the winter, because obviously I'm probably not going to need screens to keep out the snow bees. So my last little piece to my puzzle of winter preparation is temperature sensors. What I've done for temperature sensors is I went to all new ones. The ones I had before were very cheap and they actually didn't work that well. They told the temperature right, but connection to them was really hit and miss. So I couldn't actually connect to them from the cab. Now I can connect to these ones from like 30 meters away. So that's nice. I have put temp sensors in behind the shower, down where the water tank is, and over in the dump valves. I also put one over in my battery area because I want to monitor and make sure that stays warm enough. Temperature sensors are going to be your best friend in this lifestyle, because if you're running water, you're going to want to know what the temperature of those areas are. If an area is getting really close to freezing, then you need to do something about it. And what I like to do, if I can't add a ducting into there, or I'm out of basically ducting for adding into there, is simply this. This is a 120 millimeter fan. All it does is shoot air from inside the cabin here, in behind the shower, and that's about it. It circulates air. It actually circulates it enough that I can feel air coming out of this little vent here. And that's what this one's supposed to do, but it doesn't actually have like a fan on it. It just kind of passively sits there. I thought about putting a fan on it, but your drawer's right here, so that's not really viable. So that fan's moving quite a bit of air. It's keeping things moving around in there for air and everything, and that's also going to battle any condensation down there. So really smart to put a fan to your basement area or by your tanks or in behind your cupboards or anything. I've been doing this since last year. With my first one, that's the first thing I did before adding any ducts, was just putting fans going into all the other areas, because I thought that was enough to do it. That worked up until about -10, but after that I had to actually add some ducts. Is this going to work beyond -30? I hope so. That would be really cool if all this worked out beyond -30. This camper is a lot better insulated than my old one, so I'm really hoping that this is going to work the way I want it to, because honestly I think it would be really cool to be able to actually run water and not have to worry about it any time. It's just dumping out there, you guys. I love this. I really do. If you guys have some winter tips or anything like that, be sure to leave them in the comments and let me hear about it. I'd like to hear what you guys do to get ready for winter. And I think that's going to be it for this one. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, be sure to like and subscribe. And I can't wait to take you with me on the next one. Later, guys.